Butt kicking, for goodness!
So now that the party has successfully found Commander Brage, they have to make a decision about what they want to do next.
I fear the pace we have set is too much for me. I must rest.
Kered complaining about how tired he is.
Squeaky wheel gets the kick!
But if the rest of the party isn't tired, he's not going to demand that they press on just because he's not tired. He's not that selfish. Let's see, what will the party do now? They found Commander Brage over here. They could, well, there's a number of things. First off, they have already dealt with Transigant Bearghosts and found evidence that the bandits are either in Larswood or Peldvale. We could go looking for the bandit base. Or we could just keep exploring the Sword Coast, you know, just on our own personal way. Now, you know, they did communicate the fact that everything is time sensitive with what's going on, but Kered has the idea that, well, first off, if it's going to be a bandit base, there'll be lots of bandits, and they'll be very dangerous, so the party should be as prepared as possible before going to engage them. Beyond that, he also thinks that if the party stays, if it acts too quickly, that the enemies of the party, whoever they are, and indeed their identities are still rather mysterious, will know that Kered is hot on their trail, because they're already sending these killers out to get him. And so if they act erratically and keep going to strange, unknown places in the wilderness, not only will they, hopefully, gather more resources with which to attack their enemies, but they'll also kind of disappear off the map, because where have all the assassins attacked us? The towns, Bearghost, Nashkel. So if we avoid the civilized areas except for very short periods of time, the party should be able to avoid assassins, and hopefully prepare more for the eventual attack on the bandits. So that said, let's return to the area where we found Brage, and investigate more. Approaching from the south this time. Look, Dynaheir cutting in and saying, I remember how I set out on this journey, Kered, so eager to complete the studies I started when I was on my Gemma. It seemed like a long time had passed since the Offlord permitted me to leave my position as a keeper of manuscripts with the Fira of Urland, but in truth, it had only been 2 years today, but eventful years. Kered saying, something I was wondering about, Lady Dynaheir. Since Mintz is on his own to Gemma, he did not accompany you when you went to Sembia, right? Then how did you meet him? I had passed through a small settlement while taking the Golden Way to Thesk. We both started out of Rashomon at about the same time, and he was looking for a companion. 'Twas not easy for him to find one, due to his condition. I myself wasn't comfortable with it, but the man hath a true heart, despite lacking sharpness of mind. And he came with me to Sembia, so I did not travel alone this time. Kered, keeping the question open-ended, saying, So, thou went to Sembia. What other lands didst thou pass, Hathran? This journey was shorter than my first one. I rode down the Golden Way to the port of Telfamar in Thesk, and sailed to Serlun. And there, after studying with a friend of mine in the Temple of Mistra, I bought passage across the Darganmere to Westgate. Kered asking, where were you planning to go from there, Dynaheir? We traveled to Westgate by sea. From Westgate, Minsk and I traveled to Erebor, before taking along the road connecting Verdusk with Nashkel. In Nashkel, we were planning to turn onto the Lion's Way and follow the north to Candlekeep. I had a book of Rashemi folklore with me, a rarity here, that I hoped to use to gain the entry to the library, but we went astray. The rest thou know, Kered. Kered, he wants to learn more about his companion, and hopefully, if he plays his card right, his lover someday. He asks her, "Yes, I know the rest, and still I have a feeling that I do not know you at all. Tell me more of yourself, Dynaheir. Another time, perhaps. I am not accustomed to talk at length of myself." Okay.
Full plate and packing steel.
So, Kered learning a bit more about his prospective love interest, and the more Dynaheir communicates the fact that not only is she compassionate and kind, but also intelligent and thoughtful, the more attractive he is. And of course, like any man, she's a physically attractive person, and he is
You
interested
point, I punch.
from that perspective as well. It's the whole package deal, as people say. Okay, this is where we came in, so this area. I guess we'll explore over here. Kered slugging on despite being fatigued. Which makes sense, considering his very poor constitution. Spent a little too much of his childhood reading books rather than exercising.
Your company is a welcome part of this group.
Oh, well, thank you, Khalid. That's very nice of you to say.
What's that? Red pancakes are on my cheek.
Yeah, Minsk is getting tired, too. Oh, still pathway to the south. Across the stream here. Looks like we can't go further west. Nope. Nothing like a leisurely stroll through the woods. It's a beautiful day in the Forgotten Realms. Here's the site of the Battle of Brage. Dead horses and perhaps even the bodies of his family or the people he's slain still here. Strange, you would have thought Lystra or somebody else would have cleaned this up by now, but I guess not. Listening to the birds singing. Oh, what's this say? Mine site nearby. Interesting. See if we can find this mine site.
You be quiet.
Hobgoblin, Baruch. You on Baruch's land. Baruch says go away, so go. Kered, not wanting to be confrontational, says, "We're just passing through and won't be any bother. You have our word." "Your word means nothing to Baruch. Kill them." So much for being reasonable. Wow. Okay.
I wouldn't dream.
Forward march.
Whoa! Kobold Commando Archers. And Kered is going to use a horror spell. Alright, that's got them on the run.
I'm gone.
Use her bow. Dynaheir will use her wand. Kered will use his sling.
Oh, yes. Just as I thought.
So he'll use his grease scroll too to slow them down.
They won't be good. The man's really not in.
Butt-kicking hot goodness.
to the rest.
Wow. This grease spell really scared me down. Kered should use it. Now, considering that the symbol of the spell is a pig, I don't know, it might